talk modes for a minute. As you're playing guitar, key of C, for instance, you know the Phrygians are playing that, and you got another one at the 12th fret. Are you always thinking about where your modes are at, so you're fingering the right stating key?
Not modes so much, but I do have a sense of where the inversions are. Okay, so like if I'm playing. Yeah, the different inversions of it. I don't ever think in a theoretical sense, unless I'm in some kind of jam where I need to sort of think my way out of it. And usually that happens after the fact. I'm not that fluent in a lot of theory and theoretical stuff. I'm a very slow music reader, and I write it even slower than that. I always thought that theory was kind of a way to explain what you just did, not something that tells you what you're going to do. You know what I mean? I'm not into theory as much as I'm into application. Hope that partially answered your question. Yeah, you know, for me, it's pretty instinctive. I was never one of those players that wanted to learn every song and learn every technique and sat around practicing drills and scales. For me, the guitar was just kind of a way to go inside. It always wasn't. I would say I had a terrible childhood, but it was, you know, not always the happiest, most relaxed time for me. And the guitar was just such a great way to escape. I just wanted to sort of like, you know, soothe myself, make myself feel better. I was, you know, and I love those guys like Tommy, you know, Tommy Emmanuel, who probably knows every song ever written, can play it in any key, or you know, Joe Pass, for example. But that's kind of not what my motivation was. I think you can sort of set your own course. You don't even have to set a course, you can sort of drift around, and that's fine. A lot of people talk about guitar playing where you have to have a goal, you have to have some kind of goal. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case, really. I never wanted to make the guitar or music any kind of work at all. Work represented to me was nothing but sweat, toil, and agony. You know, my dad was one of those sweat, toil, agony kind of guys. You know, and he wasn't sweating and toiling; he was agonizing about that. Yeah, I wanted it to be easy. I wanted life to be as sloth-like as possible. I have zero discipline, but you don't need discipline to be a guitar player. What you need is dedication. You know, people talk about, oh, when I'm making a record, I'll sit there and play for 8, 9, 10 hours a day sometimes. And people talk about that as being incredibly disciplined. And it's not discipline, it's devotion, it's dedication. And I've heard a lot of disciplined players that just can't play. There's something about that devotion and that dedication that makes, that's where it's really at. Does that make sense? Did I disappear up the old wazoo in there? I'm trying not to be like Dr. Phil with a guitar. Well, I know we have some more workshops coming up here, so I'm going to, I'll play one more for you. If there's one more question before I wrap it up, I'll be happy to entertain you.
So what is your mindset before you write a song, or like you're going to, I mean, do you even have like a mindset or like maybe a mood you would be in? Like, is that clear?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that you know, talking about inspiration is really difficult. That's why there's music. Music sort of tells you what the inspiration was. You either sort of get that or you don't. You know, music will come to me at different times. I generally don't write much on the road, for example, because you know, for me to write, I need long periods of solitude, and being on the road, I don't get that. Other people can write in a crowded bar on a napkin, or I was talking to a guy who said he wrote one in an elevator one time. But whatever it is, it's not a mood so much as, and this may or may not make sense to you, but to me, something about music that it almost creates a place. It's almost like a sense of place that you're in. And once you're in there, then you can sort of explore that. But I can't point to any one mood that I get in, although, you know, when all of a sudden I feel like I'm locking in with something, feel like there's a fulcrum on top of my head, and all the energy of the world or whatever is like focusing on my head, and I'm sort of trying to keep it from going off balance. See, that makes absolutely no sense to anybody. You know what I mean? There's a place where words have to stop and music takes over.